Hey Tube, welcome back. What do you mean by idempotent operation? So, in the context of computing and API design, and idempotent operation is on that can be performed multiple times without changing the result beyond the initial application. In other words, repeating an idempotent operation several times has the same effect on the system as performing it just once. So let's talk about the key aspects of idempotency. Okay. Um, First, we will talk about the consistent state. After an idempotent operation is performed once, subsequent identical operations will leave the system in the same state as after the first operation. Number two, we will talk about the methods, HTTP methods. First, let's talk about Git. So, for your information, not all HTTP methods are idempotent. For example, we have Git. This method is idempotent because it's used to retrieve information and should not change any state on the server. We have Post. Generally, this method is not idempotent. It is used to create or add a new resource, and calling it multiple times typically results in multiple resources being created. We have put and delete. These methods are idempotent. A put request should update a resource and can be called multiple times with the same data payloads without changing the result after its initial application. Similarly, once a delete request has successfully deleted a resource, subsequent delete request to the same resource endpoint should have no further effect, often return a 404 not found after the first successful deletion. We have batch. Batch, this method is typically non-idempotent as it's possible, it applies partial modifications to a resource, and repeating the patch can have cumulative effects unless specifically designed to be idempotent. So let's talk about the importance of it in the distributed system. So idempotence is particularly important in distributed environments where communication or system failures might cause operations to be retried. With idempotent operations, clients can safely retry requests without to fear of causing unintended effects, which is crucial for achieving a robustness and reliability. Number four, we would like to talk about the retry mechanism. So idempotency ensures that if a request like a network call fails due to a transient issue, the same request can be repeated with the guarantee that it won't cause unintended changes if the original request was processed successfully, but that response was lost. Let's talk about some practical examples because I guess it's quite important to talk about practical examples. The first thing we will talk about the database operations. Okay. So updating a record specific fields to fixed values, regardless of their current values, is an idempotent operation. For example, setting status field to completed will have the same effect whether it's done once or multiple times. We have a financial transaction as well. So consider a scenario where a specific transaction infrastructure, such as a set account balance to $100, is issued. No matter how many times this infrastructure and this instructions is executed, the final balance remains $100, making it idempotent. So understanding and correctly implementing idempotency is crucial for API developers, especially when designing APIs that might handle multiple requests or need to manage complex states across distributed networks. This probably helps prevent duplicate operations and ensure the system remains consistent even in the face of repeated operations due to retries or errors. So that's it for today's video, and see you in the future.